She texted from her girls' trip. "The club here is amazing. Wish you were here." Attached was a photo of her in my boss's lap. I replied, "Looks like fun." Then I forwarded the image to HR and the company's ethics board. Her fun trip ended with 2 unexpected job terminations. I, 32 male, am an analyst for a large logistics corporation. Or I was. Now I'm the guy sitting in his home office at 3 a.m. staring at a single email in his sent folder, wondering if he just detonated his entire life. My fiancée, Maya, 30, works in the same company. Different department, marketing. We've been together 4 years, engaged for 1. We live in my condo, the one I bought before we met. Life was stable, good. We were planning a wedding. Then there's Alistair, 45. He's a senior VP. He's also my direct boss. For the last 3 months, Maya's been weirdly chummy with him. I'm not the jealous type, really, but it was a lot. Laughing too loud at his terrible jokes in the break room. Staying late for networking drinks that just so happened to be at the same bar Alistair frequents. "He's a really important mentor, Leo," she'd say, brushing off my concerns. "He's giving me insight into the executive track. You should be happy for me." "He's my boss, Maya. It just looks a little weird," I said last week. "God, don't be so insecure," she snapped. "It's work. You think I can't have a male mentor? That's pretty reductive, don't you think?" "What do you say to that?" I backed off. I felt like a chump, but I let it go. This weekend she went on a girls' trip with her friend Bree. A long weekend spa and club hopping getaway. I helped her pack, kissed her goodbye at the door, told her to have fun and be safe. Tonight, around 11:30 p.m., my phone buzzed. It was Maya. "Maya, OMG, the club here is amazing. Wish you were here, it's insane." Attached was a photo. It wasn't a selfie. It wasn't a picture of the dance floor. It was a picture of her. Drink in one hand, phone in the other, sitting squarely in Alistair's lap. She was in a tiny black dress. His hand was high up on her leg. His other arm was wrapped tight around her waist. They were in a dark, plush VIP booth. He was grinning at the camera like he'd just won a prize. She was making a kissy face. I recognized the ridiculously gaudy silver bracelet on his wrist. He never takes it off. I stared at it for a full minute. The blood in my veins turned to ice water. She wasn't on a girls' trip with Bree. Or if she was, Alistair had been the destination. My first thought was, she sent this to the wrong person. This was meant for Bree. This was a brag. My second thought was, she's sitting on my boss. My third thought was, I'm supposed to marry this woman in 6 months. My hands were shaking. Not with rage, but with clarity. A cold, awful clarity. This wasn't just cheating. This was a professional and personal atom bomb. She was sleeping with my boss. A senior VP in our company. I typed back one sentence. Me. Looks like fun. She didn't reply. Maybe she finally looked at who she sent it to. Maybe she was too busy. I didn't care. I put my phone down. I walked to the kitchen and poured a glass of water, but I didn't drink it. I just stood in the dark. She hadn't just betrayed me as a partner. She had, with spectacular stupidity, compromised my entire career. How could I ever go into a performance review with Alistair again? How could I sit in a team meeting? He held my salary, my bonuses, my future at this company in his hands, and my fiancée was in his lap. This wasn't a personal matter anymore. This was a corporate liability. I walked back to my office. I opened my work laptop. I pulled up a new email to ethics.compliance@logistics-corp.com, hr.investigations@logisticscorp.com. From leo@logisticscorp.com. Subject, formal complaint, gross misconduct and conflict of interest. VP Alistair R., Senior Analyst, Leo V., Marketing ASOC, Maya K. Body, to the Ethics and Compliance Board and Human Resources. I am writing to report a severe conflict of interest and a violation of the company's non-fraternization and ethics policies. I am an analyst reporting directly to Senior VP Alistair. My fiancée, Maya Avaim, is an associate in the marketing department. I have just received indisputable evidence that Mr. Alistair's last name is in an inappropriate relationship with my direct subordinate's fiancée, who is Maya's last name, who is also an employee. This relationship creates an untenable and hostile work environment for me. It represents a significant abuse of power by a senior executive and calls into question the professional integrity and judgment of both Mr. Alice's name and Ms. Maya's last name. Attached is a photograph I received at 11:32 p.m. this evening, time-stamped. It was sent to me by Miss Maya's last name herself. I request an immediate and confidential investigation into this matter. I am available to discuss this further at your convenience. I will be working from home tomorrow, as I no longer feel I can be in the same building as my direct supervisor. Sincerely, Leo Vance. I attached the photo, the full, high-resolution image of her on his lap. I read the email over twice. It was cold. It was professional. It was completely and totally devastating. I hit send at 12:15 a.m. I went back to the kitchen and made a pot of coffee. I knew I wasn't sleeping. The sun is starting to come up and my phone has been silent. Her fun trip is still going on. She has no idea what's waiting for her when she lands. The title says this ended with 2 terminations. It's Monday morning now. I got an automated reply from the ethics board. A real person will be in touch. The bomb is airborne. I'm just waiting for the sound. Update 1, it's been 2 weeks. I feel like I've aged a year for every day. The Monday after I sent the email was silent. I logged in from home as I'd stated. My email was a ghost town. No messages from Alistair. No where are you from my team. It was eerie. At 10 a.m., I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. It was a woman from the ethics board. Her voice was all business, zero emotion. Mr. Vance, thank you for your discretion. We have received your complaint. We are taking it extremely seriously. A formal investigation has been opened. Please do not discuss this with anyone, and I mean anyone. Not your colleagues, not your friends, and especially not Miss Maya's last name or Mr. A's last name. Is that clear? Crystal clear, I said. Good. For the duration of the investigation, you will be on paid administrative leave. Please do not log into the company network. We will be in touch. She hung up. Paid leave. Wow. They weren't messing around. The rest of the week was torture. I deep cleaned the condo. I went to the grocery store at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday just because I could. I reorganized my garage. I did everything possible to not think about Maya, who was due back on Tuesday night. I didn't hear from her. No, I'm home. No, I'm so sorry. I made a mistake. Nothing. Her flight must have landed. She just didn't come home. Then, Friday afternoon, I got a text from a colleague. Dude, what the hell is going on? Alistair is gone. What do you mean, gone? I typed, my heart pounding. Like, gone. Security was at his desk. His name is out of the company directory. There's an all-hands meeting for our division in 20 minutes. An hour later, my phone lit up again. They just sent a company-wide email. Alistair last name is no longer with the company, effective immediately. And I checked the marketing directory. Maya is gone too. Her name is gone. Leo, what did you do? I didn't answer. I just sat on my couch. The title of this post. It was real. They were both fired. The quiet in the condo was deafening. That's when I heard a key in the lock. Maya came in, dragging her suitcase. The one I bought her for our anniversary. She didn't look like someone who had just been fired. She looked furious. Leo, she said. Her voice was low and shaking. Maya, I said, not getting up. I have 27 missed calls from HR, she said. I have an email from the ethics board saying I'm terminated, for a morality clause violation. What did you do? I just looked at her. What did I do? You sent me a picture, Maya, of you on our boss's lap. Did you think I was just gonna, frame it? It was a mistake. She shrieked. I sent it to the wrong person. It was a stupid drunk mistake. You were supposed to be the man. You were supposed to call me, yell at me. We were supposed to talk about it. Talk about what? I said, finally standing up. Talk about the fact that you're sleeping with my boss, the man who controls my entire career? Or talk about the girls' trip that was just a cover for you to go play with him? He was going to get me a promotion, she screamed. Tears of rage, not regret, streaming down her face. A real promotion, into management. He said I had executive potential. I'll bet he did, I said. And you ruined it. You ruined everything. You couldn't just keep your mouth shut. You had to go to HR like a child. You got me fired, Leo. The entitlement was staggering. It was like I was looking at a stranger. She wasn't sorry she cheated. She was sorry she got caught, and she was furious that I had protected myself instead of protecting her. You're right, Maya, I said. I did. You and Alistair created a hostile work environment for me. You put me in an impossible position, so I removed the problem. You're both the problem. My career is over, she sobbed. Alistair's is over. He's going to be blacklisted. all because you were jealous. Okay, I said. I went to the hall closet and pulled out 3 large trash bags. I walked back to the living room and threw them at her feet. Get your stuff, I want you out. Her head snapped up. What? You're fired. You're not my fiancé. You don't live here anymore. Get your things and get out of my home. You can't do that, she sputtered. This is my home. I've been living here for 2 years. I have rights. You have the right to get your makeup and your clothes and leave, I said. No, she screamed. I'm not going anywhere. You'll have to evict me, you bastard. You'll have to get a lawyer and evict me. See how HR likes that? She picked up her suitcase, wheeled it into the guest room, and slammed the door. I heard the lock click. I just stood there. She was right. She'd been here long enough. She had established tenancy. I couldn't just throw her out. I sat back down on the couch. This was not the clean victory I'd imagined. This was a new kind of war, and the enemy was sleeping in my guest room. Final update. It's been 3 months. 3 months of the most surreal, tense, and utterly miserable time of my life. But it's over. I'm sitting in my condo, and it is completely and totally silent. The eviction threat was real. My lawyer, yes, I had to get one, confirmed it. Because she'd been here over 30 days and received mail, she was a month-to-month tenant, fiancé or not. We had to serve her with a formal 30-day notice to vacate. So for 30 days, we lived in the same house. It was a cold war. I slept in my bedroom. She stayed in the guest room. She'd be in the kitchen when I needed to make dinner, humming to herself like nothing was wrong. She used my utilities, my internet, my shower. She ate my food. Her entitlement was off the charts. You know, you're really the one at fault here, she said one night while I was trying to watch the news. I ignored her. No, really, she said, standing in front of the TV. If you had just been more ambitious, like Alistair, I wouldn't have had to look for mentorship elsewhere. You kind of drove me to him. I just stared at her. You need to move, Maya. You're so cold, she scoffed. No wonder I was unhappy. But the real dirty trick didn't come from her. It came from Alistair. 2 weeks into the 30-day notice, I was served with papers. Alistair was suing, not the company. He was suing me for tortious interference with a contract and defamation. His claim? That he and Maya were just close friends and colleagues. That the photo was a harmless, celebratory moment taken out of context. That I, in a fit of jealous rage, had maliciously misrepresented this platonic friendship to HR and the ethics board, causing him to lose his job and suffer irreparable damage to his reputation. He was seeking $500,000 in damages. I had to hire a second lawyer, a civil defense attorney. My administrative leave was over, but my career was still in limbo. The company's lawyers were focused on defending the company from Alistair's wrongful termination suit, which he'd also filed. But they made it clear that my civil suit was my problem. I was bleeding money. I was paying a mortgage on a condo my squatter ex was living in, and I was paying 2 sets of lawyers. I felt like I was drowning. This was the real-life part they don't show in the movies. The part where the villain tries to bleed you dry. I was at my breaking point. I had to get her out. The 30-day notice was up, and she was still there. We were filing for the formal eviction hearing. As part of that, my lawyer advised me to have a witness and to professionally pack and catalog all her belongings to be moved into storage the moment the eviction was granted. This weekend, my brother and I started the process. We went into the guest room. She was out meeting with her lawyer, aka getting coffee with Bree. We were bagging up her clothes, her books, her mountains of shoes. In the back of the closet was a box. It wasn't shoes, it was old electronics. And in it was her old work laptop. Not the new one the company had issued her, but one from a few years ago. Just label it old laptop and put it in the box, my brother said. Hold on, I said, I don't know why. A hunch. I opened it, the battery was dead, I plugged it in, it booted up, slowly, and it logged right in. No password. The desktop was a mess of old files, but one folder caught my eye. It was named Alistair Personal. My heart stopped. I clicked it. It wasn't love letters. It was work. It was spreadsheets, client lists, marketing pipelines, internal cost analysis documents, stuff that was way above Maya's pay grade. And then I saw the subfolders: competitor analysis, Apex, Nuco pitch deck, client transition plan. My blood ran cold. Alistair wasn't just mentoring her. He was planning to leave and start his own competing firm. And he was using Maya, my fiancée, an employee in the marketing department, to systematically steal proprietary data, client lists, and financial models from our company. The promotion she was so mad about losing? It wasn't a promotion at our company. It was her buy-in to his new one. This wasn't just an affair. This wasn't just an ethics violation. This was corporate espionage. This was a multi-million-dollar theft, and she was his accomplice. The photo she sent me. It wasn't just a drunk mistake. It was the ultimate, arrogant, we're winning brag from a woman who thought she was untouchable. I stopped packing. I took the laptop. I called my civil attorney. Stop the eviction filing, I said, and cancel my appointment for Monday. Instead, I need you to set up a meeting with the general counsel of my company. And I mean now. The meeting was on Monday morning. Me, my lawyer, and a room full of stony-faced company attorneys. I put the laptop on the table. I told them what I found. I gave them the password. An IT security guy plugged it in. His eyes went wide after about 5 minutes of clicking. He looked at the general counsel and just nodded. The general counsel looked at me. Mr. Vance, you have been on administrative leave. I am happy to inform you that your leave is over. You're being promoted with a 20% raise, effective immediately. We are also absorbing 100% of your legal fees related to Mr. Alistair's last name's civil suit. I almost fainted. What happens now? I asked. What happens now, the general counsel said, is that we are filing a multi-million-dollar civil suit against both Mr. Alistair's last name and Miss Strang for theft of trade secrets, breach of fiduciary duty, and conspiracy. His lawsuit against you will be resolved, and we will be turning this laptop and its contents over to the district attorney's office to pursue criminal charges. Alistair's suit against me was dropped within 24 hours. The company's lawyers took over the eviction. With the new evidence that Maya had been using my home to participate in a criminal conspiracy against the company, they got an emergency hearing. The judge granted an immediate writ of possession. She had 24 hours. I was there when the sheriff's deputies showed up. Maya was in the living room, on the phone, probably with her mom. "Ma'am, you have to vacate the premises immediately." "You can't do this," she shrieked, looking at me. "Leo, tell them, this is our home. You can't." "It's not your home, Maya," I said. The deputies were already moving her bags to the door. "And it's not our anything." You did this," she screamed, finally realizing. "The laptop, you found it. You couldn't just let me go. You had to ruin my life." "You were stealing, Maya," I said, my voice quiet. "You and Alistair, you weren't just cheating on me. You were committing a crime. You did this to yourself." "Where am I supposed to go?" she wailed as the deputies guided her out the door. "You've taken everything from me. I have nothing." "You should have thought about that before you hit send." "Ping," I said. I closed the door. I locked the deadbolt. I leaned against it and just breathed. It's over. Alistair and Maya are both facing a massive corporate lawsuit and a criminal investigation. Their careers aren't just over. They're incinerated. They're both buried so deep in legal trouble, it's doubtful they'll ever get out. As for me, I'm back at work. I have a new title. I have a new boss who seems to actually respect me. The condo is quiet. It's empty, and I've never been more relieved. It's not a happy ending. I lost 4 years of my life to a lie. But it's a just ending. I got my condo back, I got my career back, and they got exactly what they deserved.